Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a really interesting stack of sources today that gets right to the heart of something a lot of us are curious about, but maybe feel a little awkward asking about: sex, intimacy, and relationships.
Yeah.
The core of our deep dive is Beth Liebling's book, Love and Laughter.
Hmm.
Sexy, meaningful fun for everyone. Our mission: to cut through the awkwardness, pull out the most impactful ideas, and see what this source reveals about, well, revitalizing connection and pleasure in your life.
It's quite a mix, isn't it? Personal journey, practical tips.
And a really bold challenge to some old school thinking.
What's absolutely fascinating about the starting point here is that it doesn't come from a lab or, a therapy couch, but from the very real-world perspective of a former divorce lawyer.
Right.
The author, Beth Liebling, spent 22 years in that profession, and she saw something critical firsthand: how consistently a lack of healthy, fulfilling sex lives seemed intertwined with the breakdown of relationships.
22 years. Can you imagine starting out believing in fairy tales and forever love and ending up, well, in the business of ending marriages?
Yeah.
She apparently got into divorce law,
No.
wanting to help people through a tough time. But even the good days, she says, felt gray because of the weight of her client's sadness.
And then, after 2 decades of her own marriage and raising 5 kids, she went through her own divorce. The sources highlight this as a really pivotal moment, giving her that raw, firsthand understanding of the heartbreak, disappointment, anger, and fear her clients experienced.
Exactly. She talks about how everything she thought defined her being a wife, a mom, a success, suddenly felt up for grabs.
Right. Total upheaval.
But she also realized that the negative things she'd internalized, like descriptions from her husband calling her ugly, boring, or frigid, were also up for grabs.
Ah, interesting.
Those weren't her. They were just an old, uncomfortable self-image she'd been wearing trying to save a marriage. Shucking that off was incredibly freeing.
Shedding that skin. And it was against this backdrop that her critical observation from her law practice really solidified. She realized she had never had a client asking for a divorce who was also still enjoying a good, healthy sex life with their spouse.
Well, never. Wow.
She would ask about it, genuinely hoping they could find a way to be happy, maybe suggesting counseling. But by the time they were in her office, the sources say, they were already past a certain point.
Too late.
Pretty much. Too much anger, frustration, pessimism, bad communication, and ultimately too much bad sex or boring sex or no sex at all.
So that divorce lawyer's perspective ignited this huge question for her. What if you could intervene before things got to that point?
Right, proactively.
What if couples could find ways to actively invigorate their marriage instead of end it? How could they keep having fun with each other, keep laughing with each other, and keep growing more intimate instead of growing apart?
It fueled this personal mission for sexy, happy, and happily ever after to be, actually attainable.
And that mission is what led her to open Darling Way in Houston. She describes it as a sexy luxury boutique located in a cute, quaint little cottage.
It sounds lovely, the kind of place she felt was desperately needed but didn't exist.
Yeah, a place where a middle-aged woman, or any woman,
Yeah.
anyone, can go to feel sexy.
The sources emphasize it's a space celebrating natural beauty, valuing romance, encouraging curiosity without shame. A safe haven for exploration, really.
And according to the book, it's working. She shares stories of seeing people come in and just come to life.
How so?
Putting on lingerie, transforming their posture, smiling wider, their eyes just lighting up. It's about discovering forgotten or hidden parts of themselves and leaving happier and more complete in their sex, in their intimacy, in their romance, and in their lives.
That's a powerful link she's making there between self-acceptance, exploring your sexuality, and just overall well-being.
Definitely. Which leads us into a core problem she identifies.
Right, just how incredibly difficult it is for people to actually learn about sex in our society.
It's kept so secret, hushed, behind closed doors. We're left wondering what's normal, what others are doing, or even just how to get, reliable information.
Exactly. And she looks at the usual places people might turn. Friends, maybe. But finding someone who adores talking incessantly about sex in a helpful way, rare.
A partner might have their own limited knowledge or hang-ups. A doctor, they can help with clinical issues, sure, but she notes the experience can feel more like watching the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, anatomical details about erectile dysfunction or clitoral stimulation.
It's not exactly a warm chat about pleasure and connection, is it?
No, it can lack that sense of mysterious warm fuzzies or the feeling of it being an emotionally rewarding adventure.
The source even throws in a fun historical note here about Dr. Ruth Westheimer,
Oh yeah, the sniper training.
trained as a military sniper in Israel, could hit the target smack in the center. The author playfully suggests this might explain why Dr. Ruth's advice was always so spot on.
Maybe. Then there's the other end of the spectrum.
The shock jock route, like Howard Stern, spends hours talking about sex, but she notes it often feels like it's just the butt of a joke coming across as exploitative and mean.
Yeah, does it really help you understand pleasure beyond just a quick orgasm? Can you get real wisdom there? Probably not.
And of course, there's porn.
The big one. The source acknowledges consensual porn can be exciting, maybe even inspiring sometimes. But the author gives a strong warning. Learning about sex from porn is like learning to drive from the Fast and the Furious movies.
Okay, that's a vivid analogy.
Her point is that while it's become the most common form of sex ed, it's not a good thing for so many reasons. It often presents unrealistic or really limited views.
So if you're feeling that head full of questions, a body full of longing, where do you turn? Maybe Cosmo, BuzzFeed, family, a friend. Maybe you stumble on a few books.
But her conclusion is that mostly we're sadly on our own.
Our understanding becomes this custom-built hodgepodge, cobbled together from health class and gossip, totally lacking logic or organization.
Like building a leaky house from random bits of found wood, that's her comparison.
And this difficulty is really driven home by her analogy of the restaurant with no menu.
Oh, I like this one. Imagine walking into a restaurant, no menus, silent waiters, asking about the food is totally taboo, you get judged.
You just end up taking whatever you'll give me.
Okay.
Maybe you like it, maybe you don't,
Yeah.
but you have no clue what else is even possible.
And that, she argues, is exactly what learning about sex is like for so many people in our culture.
And the big, crucial takeaway from recognizing this whole problem, her key insight is...
Figuring out what you like doesn't start with your partner. It starts with you.
Okay, so starting with yourself. If the journey begins there, where does she suggest we begin?
She frames it as pushing out of your comfort zone, which can feel, scary, but also exhilarating. She uses this wonderful metaphor of your body being an instrument for love.
An instrument.
Yeah, one that needs practice and regular tuning.
And the first step she suggests is surprisingly simple, something most people already enjoy: chocolate.
Chocolate.
Not just any cheap chocolate, but a really beautiful piece of dark chocolate. The exercise is about slowing down to savor everything about it.
Like mindfulness, but with chocolate.
Exactly. The sound of the wrapper, the smell, the texture as you bite in, how the taste unfolds. It's not just about the chocolate. It's about teaching your brain and body to pay attention, to notice every part of it from beginning to end.
And she connects this back to how we often rush through other things, walks, showers, and yes, sex, without being fully present or really enjoying them.
So slowing down with chocolate is practice for bringing that same mindful attention to other areas.
Makes sense. What's next?
Building on that, she suggests something a little more playful. Drizzling honey on your hand.
Okay, getting a bit more adventurous.
Feel the stickiness, smell it, watch it trickle, maybe touch other parts of your body, then lick it off. What physical sensations do you notice? Goosebumps, giggling, does it turn you on?
The point is to just listen to your body, right? Not judge the response.
Exactly. And become aware of that war between your brain and body. The critic saying, you look silly, while your body is just enjoying being noticed. As she puts it, your body has a lot to say.
And this exploration isn't just about soft, pleasant textures. She pushes you to experiment beyond feathers and silk.
Like what?
What about leather, ice, fur, a metal chain, even the back of fork tines?
Wow, okay.
She directly challenges the good girl notion that you're only supposed to like gentle things. It's okay, she says, to explore things that are rough, things that sting or smack or chill or burn.
These are just sensations, your body talking.
Exactly. Listen without judgment.
And this isn't limited to touch, is it?
No, your body communicates pleasure through all your senses. She uses the analogy of drinks. Maybe you think you're a good girl who only likes wine, but have you tried whiskey? Or in her case, she says Coke Zero.
Huh. Her point is you can't possibly know what you like until you're willing to try, safely and without pressure. The choices are completely yours.
Independent of anyone else, which leads naturally to the concept of erogenous zones.
Right, the classic term.
She explains it comes from Greek words meaning love-producing. They're simply parts of the body with a high concentration of nerve endings, making them particularly sensitive.
We know the usual suspects: breasts, nipples, clitoris, G-spot.
But she notes others like the neck, ears, the small of the back, feet, and lips, which, as she humorously points out, why do you think we like kissing?
That's a great point. Speaking of sensitive areas, she delves into hot spots.
Yeah, areas that are more sensitive than others on your unique body, like a ticklish foot or a spot on your neck.
She suggests that as kids, we might have learned to tune these intense sensations out because they felt out of our control, like being tickled when you really wanted it to stop.
But as adults, we can revisit these spots and learn to understand and maybe even enjoy the feelings they produce.
And kissing is the perfect example she uses here.
Absolutely. Lips are packed with nerve endings, often the first erogenous zone we explore. Kissing releases hormones, activates nerve connections.
But it can become routine in long-term relationships.
Exactly. She strongly argues it's an important and overlooked part of a romantic relationship. Her suggestion, kissing with intention.
Meaning?
Using your lips and body to communicate specific messages without words. Things like, I love you, I want you, or I'm so horny. She even suggests kiss charades as a practice game.
Kiss charades. I like that. The key insight here seems to be that these hot spots are unique to everyone and can even change based on mood.
Right. She really encourages spending time experimenting with yourself, figuring out what hits your buttons. You don't need a partner to learn how you like to be touched.
You just need that willingness to explore and listen to your body.
And she highlights the incredible interconnectedness of the nervous system, mentioning surprising spots like one below the ankle wired to the ovaries or the sole of the foot connected to the nipples.
Wow. So your whole body is potential.
Exactly. Covered with sensitive spots that you might not think of as sexually arousing. But they can be. You just have to discover them. Explore deliberately, slowly, even seemingly boring parts. Just notice.
The goal is learning to feel, hear your body, get acquainted with what you like. Remember, your body changes over time, too.
And as part of this self-exploration, she moves to exploring the more intimate part.
Okay, the bits that might make some people nervous or feel squeamish, as she puts it.
Yeah, she acknowledges that. But she promises the reward physical pleasure, and conquering those internal obstacles is absolutely worth it. She also notes her preference for using less clinical, more naughty language from the source, like pussy or cock, suggesting sexy time or sexy play as umbrella terms.
Right. So for female anatomy, the source offers a brief guide.
Focused on pleasure points. The clitoris, very sensitive, crucial for orgasm. The urethra, or pee hole, located just above the vaginal opening.
And the G-spot?
Her guidance is to feel inside the vagina on the front wall, towards the belly button, for a spongy, ridged nub, usually not very far up.
And she doesn't shy away from discussing body changes that happen over time.
No, things like labia darkening or losing plumpness with age, or decreased wetness due to lower estrogen.
And her solution is pretty straightforward.
High-quality personal lubrication. She emphasizes keeping lube handy, telling your partner where it is so you don't have to tough it out.
And she breaks down the main types.
Water-based, absorbed quickly, might need reapplying. Silicone-based, lasts longer, great for dryness or anal sex, just need a pea-sized amount. And hybrids, combining benefits. Look for minimal ingredients, 4 or less ideally.
Good advice. Seek out reputable shops, too.
Definitely. She also mentions flavored lubes.
Like wearing a wig.
Ah, yeah, that's her analogy. A fun change adds a sensory dimension, can ease anxiety about oral sex. And they've gotten way better, apparently, practically culinary.
Kosher, gluten-free, organic.
Stevia sweetened, but big warning here.
Don't use actual food as lube.
Right. Cooking oils can dissolve condoms, mess with pH, lead to yeast infections. Sugary foods like honey, chocolate, candy canes, they feed yeast. Her rule, food can be great sexy fun, but keep it out of the pussy.
Got it. Very clear. There's even a travel tip.
Yeah, don't count on the hotel concierge having lube. Bring travel sizes. She even lists lube in several languages.
That's thorough. She also touches on labiaplasty.
Briefly. Suggests it can sometimes reduce sensitivity and encourages women to appreciate their natural appearance. Her philosophy. Everyone's pussy looks different. You're supposed to look like you.
And connecting back to the body as an instrument, Kegels.
Yep, strengthening those pelvic muscles located between the vagina and anus. Exercises, flexing inside for 3 seconds 10 times, or props like Kegel balls.
For greater sexy pleasure and stronger orgasms.
The source is explicit. Stronger Kegels mean more likely we are to experience orgasm, period.
Okay, so that covers a lot of the self-exploration physical aspects.
Yeah.
Now, self-pleasure itself.
A really fundamental point the author makes is that self-pleasure is essential for a happy, healthy life.
Essential. Strong word.
She frames it as critical, especially now. Stress, social media, multitasking. It can numb us, make us forget how to feel pleasure. And that impacts everything, sex, relationships, mental health.
She links self-loving and lovemaking.
Directly. To enjoy either, you need to be unified with your senses. If you're disconnected from your own sensuality, it's hard to fully give yourself to a partner. It's about actively wake up our sensual side, the side we're often taught to hide or ignore.
And the sources really confront the stigma around masturbation.
Oh yeah, that deep-seated, ingrained idea that masturbation is somehow wrong. Centuries of stigma, ridiculous myths.
Hairy palms, blindness.
Disease, just plain shame.
The author points out the hypocrisy too, right? Society tells us to respect body and spirit, but rewards self-sacrifice and overwork.
Exactly. Overcoming those stigmas, especially for women, she says, takes a superhero amount of strength.
And she systematically debunks the common myths.
Let's run through them. Not dangerous, maybe slight chafing at worst.
Not unnatural, almost everyone does it, even animals like dolphins and penguins.
Doesn't drive you crazy. The only mental issue is the guilt from believing the myth.
Not self-abuse, it's self-pleasure, self-care, affection, acceptance, love.
And not addictive in a problematic way for most. Sometimes it's tied to other issues. Daily self-pleasuring can even be like meditating for some.
She makes a powerful case that masturbation is truly a form of self-care.
Absolutely. And beyond that, orgasms, solo or partnered, have tons of health benefits.
Release oxytocin, endorphins, good for relaxation, sleep, pain relief.
Generate human growth hormone, potentially looking younger, lower blood pressure, help men fight infection, release tension, stress, strengthen muscles, burn calories.
It's quite a list. She shares a personal anecdote too.
Very candidly, she didn't have an orgasm until after her first child was born and didn't even realize she hadn't been having them.
Wow.
She describes orgasm as those even more intense, exceptional moments that the French call la petite mort, the little death.
And the source includes that wild story about Dr. Kellogg.
Yes. Mr. Cornflakes himself intensely disliked sex and masturbation, illicit commerce, he called it.
Created tasteless foods like cornflakes at his sanitarium, believing flavorful food led to self-pollution.
Until his brother Will added sugar for mass production, starting a lifelong feud. The source jokes, the next time the cereal in your bowl goes limp and soggy, think of poor, sexually frustrated Dr. John.
Huh. So, practically speaking, how to self-pleasure?
The author is adamant, no one true way. It's not always about orgasm. It's about what feels good to you.
Be adventurous or shy, gentle or hard, lights on or off.
Exactly. Find a comfy place, relax, let your hands wander, turn into feelings, notice sensations without judgment. Be creative.
She also notes the rise of female-directed and female-oriented porn.
Yeah, observing it often focuses more on interpersonal dynamics, dialogue, suggesting women respond strongly to cinematic romance and turn-on as part of the package.
And the sources tackle those limiting societal ideas about women and sex head-on.
That binary, the good girl, modest, asexual, serious, or the slut, sexy, not serious, it creates huge pressure.
And can lead to women criticizing other women who are comfortable being sexy.
Right, out of their own buried feelings of resentment from feeling trapped in the good girl box.
Yeah.
She offers a challenge.
The next time you're tempted to look at someone else and think, button up your blouse, girl, maybe you should consider whether or not you might benefit from unbuttoning your own a little bit.
Provocative, but makes you think.
Okay, so we've explored connecting with ourselves. What about connecting with a partner? The source notes new relationships often have that electricity, thrill, lots of laughing.
Yeah, even though it's nerve-wracking and takes work. So she asks, why is it so hard for long-term couples to keep that excitement?
This is the paradox of relationships she talks about. Does getting comfortable have to mean sacrificing excitement?
She argues the opposite. Intimacy and trust should make it easier to be brave, adventurous, go deeper.
And she ties that in love feeling back to laughter. Are you still laughing together?
A good question to ask. And she pinpoints a major barrier to asking for what you want in long-term relationships.
Which is
established habits and the fear of having something to lose. Early on, asking feels low stakes. Later, it feels riskier.
you worry you'll seem weird or not the woman you thought he married.
Exactly. We get stuck in roles, assume change is impossible or our partner won't like it, even though they also have an inner life and secret fantasies.
Her conclusion, you just have to take a chance and ask.
Simple, but hard sometimes. As a concrete step, she suggests scheduling love and laugh time.
Dedicated alone time, lock the door. Doesn't always have to mean sex, right?
No, even 15 minutes of focused making out can make a real difference in reconnecting.
And the source gives 5 ways to keep passion alive without necessarily having sex.
Yeah, practical tips. 1, touch. Consciously touch more often. Let hands linger, tease with intensity, try to arouse them in public discreetly.
2, talk dirty, use words, tell them fantasies, how attractive they look, how much you miss them, recall past pleasure.
3, sext. Use phones to connect, not distance. Sexy texts, naughty pics suggestive is powerful. Keep erotic images for inspiration.
4, kissing with intention. That comes up again, reinforcing its importance.
Absolutely. And 5, playing with power dynamics. Consensually experimenting with who leads, who follows, switching roles. Adding playful interaction.
The idea of unusual sex comes up again, too.
Right. How we form opinions young based on gossip and shushing, without experience. These hang-ups stick unless we consciously let them go. She shares her own hang-up about the term anal sex and how she just acknowledges it and laughs.
And she argues that maybe unusual sex is more normal than we think, given how often kink pops up in mainstream media.
It's time to talk more openly about adventurous acts and the pleasure they provide, rather than keeping them taboo.
But always, always with consent.
Crucially, her line, yes, is only meaningful if you have the option to say no, too. Experimenting with power, tying each other up safely, exciting only if fully consensual.
Okay, finally, the source introduces the prop closet.
Yeah, she prefers props to sex toys, seeing them as tools to help you build a better, more satisfying show, like in theater. And she calls a vibrator a must-have for women.
Like sexy stilettos or a black dress, yes. Lots of shapes and sizes. For a first one, she suggests a simple bullet vibrator good for clitoral stimulation.
And she mentions a history. Doctors using them for hysteria.
Right, to induce orgasm. Hysteria isn't a thing anymore, but orgasms are still amazing, and vibrators are way better now.
Other types mentioned.
Rabbit vibrators for internal and clitoral stimulation, and the legendary rechargeable magic wand. Reliable, versatile, like a sneaker, she says, helps most women orgasm.
She recommends traveling with one.
For self-love, vacation fun, or even using non-phallic ones on a plane to relax your neck or shoulders, which, she notes wryly, can lead to interesting conversations with your seatmates.
I bet. Cable balls come back here as a prop.
Weighted balls you insert hold with pelvic muscles. Subtle arousal helps dryness, strengthens muscles for stronger orgasms. Fun alone or with a partner.
Remind us of the beginner tips. Start light, use the strap, use lube, insert like a tampon, start with short wear times. Who knew working out could be so damn hot, she says.
What other props are mentioned?
Massage oil or candles. For intimacy, waking up erogenous zones. Kissable ones add a sensory layer. Candles melt into warm oil, add ambiance.
Silk ties or rope?
For consensual tying play, silk ties are a good start. Bamboo silk rope is recommended smoother, comfy.
And butt plugs.
For anal play, exploring double penetration, start small, use plenty of silicone lube. The anus doesn't self-lubricate. Go slow.
And crucial safety tips for anal play are included.
Yes. Lots of silicone lube, towel swipes ready, trim nails if using fingers. Always use a fresh condom or do anal after vaginal if switching to avoid infection.
And most importantly,
always use butt plugs or toys with a wide flared base. The butt can act like a vacuum, things can get stuck, potentially requiring a hospital visit, safety first.
definitely.
Ultimately, her view is that any prop is just a tool to build intimacy with your body or your partner. Be open-minded, let fantasies lead to fantastic, intimate fun.
Wow, we've really taken a journey today through these sources, starting with that powerful observation from a divorce lawyer.
About the link between relationship struggles and sex lives.
Yeah.
We've explored why learning about sex is so challenging, the absolute importance of starting with yourself, connecting with your sensual being.
The benefits of self-pleasure, overcoming hang-ups.
Practical ways to reignite passion, keep laughter and intention in relationships, even looking at how props can enhance the experience.
It's a perspective that weaves together personal story, practical advice, and just a big dose of encouragement towards curiosity, self-acceptance, and pleasure.
It makes a clear case that exploring your own sensuality and openly communicating with your partner isn't just about sex in isolation.
No, it's fundamental to feeling truly alive, connected, and happy in your life.
This really leaves you with a thought to ponder. If our bodies are like musical instruments for love, and the author is suggesting they need practice and tuning, just how much unexplored music is waiting for you to discover if you just dare to pick up the score. A perfect note to end on.
Until our next deep dive, keep exploring.